As you can see from my shelf here, I really enjoy board games. But a problem most people have with board games is they think it requires 4 or 5 people to really have fun with one. But I'm here to tell you that is nothing but the truth. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Mandy. Oh, hi, Mandy. Hi, Mandy. As I was saying, you don't need 4 or 5 people to have fun with a game. Sure, games like Apples to Apples might need 4 people, but there are so many great games that you can play all by yourself. And that's the main idea of this video. I've made a game like that for you guys, based on Poptropica, something I'm pretty sure you love, seeing as you're subscribed to a channel that does a lot of Poptropica content. So, yeah, I'm going to teach you guys how to play it. We gonna teach them how to play it, Millie? You gonna teach them how to play it? In this game, you will be playing as Zeus during the events of Mythology Island and Poptropica. How this game works is there will be an island in front of you, and you will be leading the mortal through it, attempting to have them discover all 5 of the sacred item cards. But there's someone who wants to stop you. Hades, Poseidon, and Athena. If the mortal runs into these 3 before the 5 sacred items are found, they have been convinced to betray you, and you have lost the game. So, let's get into how the game works. Before we begin, I should mention you're going to need one of these. 1d6. You can find them in most games. I'm sure you won't have any trouble finding one. You will need to print out the first link, which should give you 16 cards, all of which, you're falling over there, all of which have different locations from Mythology Island. So, you're going to want to find the one that says Treetop, with starting space in parentheses next to it. Place an S on the back of that card so that you can tell the back of that card from the rest. Then, you're going to gather up all the cards, like so. Mix them up. Then you're going to deal them out in a 4x4 square. Here. Then, you're going to take the spot with an S, flip it over, and place your die on it. This is the setup for the game. Your dice will represent the mortal, going through the different locations in Mythology Island in an attempt to find the 5 sacred items. So let's talk about how you're going to lead the mortal through. Step 1. You're going to take the place that it starts in, which it's going to start in, the treetops, which makes sense, that's where you meet Zeus in the island, and you're going to choose a direction. Now, because mortals are often, can't be completely controlled, the die is rolled, and then, depending on what you roll, that is how many spaces in the direction the mortal is going to move. If you roll a 1, a 2, or a 3, they roll that many. They move that many. If you roll a 4, a 5, or a 6, then re-roll. So, for example, say I decided that the mortal was going to go left, my left. I'd roll the die, and then move them that many. 1, 2. Now, when you move them, you're going... Oh, wait, I rolled a 6, so I gotta re-roll. Roll a 6 again. Roll a 1. Move 1. Then you're going to flip over the card they landed on. Now, let's say I was here and decide I was going to move towards you. And I just rolled a 1. I rolled a 2. Then I would move the mortal, 1, 2, and flip over the 1 that it landed on, which as you can see, is one of the sacred items. And then I get to look at the one it passed. Now, if the one it passed has this red text on it, reveal it face up. When choosing, we'll talk about why you need to put it face up in a minute, but when choosing what direction to go, you cannot go in the direction you just came from. For example, since I just moved from this space to this space, I could not then immediately go from this space this direction. I have to choose a new direction, which means, say I went from here to here, then I can only go this way. So you can get stuck in corners pretty easily. Now let's talk about winning and losing. You win if at the end of your turn, all 5 of the sacred items have been revealed. But you lose if all 3 of the cards with red text have been revealed. Now, here's what makes this game a challenge. Anytime you pass any cards, you obviously get to flip the one you landed on, but then you only get to look at the ones you passed unless it's one that'll lead to your loss. Basically meaning, the more board you're covering, the more likely it is you'll lose. For example, I might want to take the die from here to here to explore all 3 of these, but there's a possibility that one of these is the last red character that'll cause me to lose. So I might want to go this way instead, since there's only 2, so it's less likely I'll lose. So you're just going to keep repeating that process over and over again until you inevitably lose, because let me tell you, the base game is pretty hard. But after you've played 3 or 4 times, you might start to get bored of it. I mean, it's mostly luck-based, there's not much there. Which is why I have also provided 3 expansions. So there will be 2 links down below. One to 2 expansions that'll make the game easier for you, and one that'll make the game harder for you. Either way, all 3 of these expansions are going to make the game more interesting in some way. So let's go over all 3 of them. The first expansion is Zeus's Powers. This is going to be you, as Zeus, coming down to the island and helping in the search. So this will give you 3 one-time use abilities that you can use at the start of your turn before choosing what direction you want the die to move in. And these are going to give you 3 abilities. The first one is called Lightning Strike, and it will allow you to take a face-up betrayal card with the red text and put it back face down as if it was never flipped face up. This can prevent you from losing, but keep in mind, you have to do this before you've chosen what direction you're going to go in. So you couldn't reveal the third one, then quickly use that ability. Another ability you can use is called Return to the Mortal World. This is Zeus coming down and physically looking for himself. You get to flip 1 token over, and that's it. You just flip 1 over. For example, I just flipped a Hydra Scale, which means I'm helping myself win. Woo! Then, the last one is Take to the Skies. You get to look at any 3 face-down tiles, and then put them all back face down. Now, unlike when the mortal's moving around, if you reveal a face card, you get to put it back face down. You've seen that one of your brothers or Athena is there, but they weren't alerted of your presence. It's fine. They don't know what you're up to. So, yeah, that's the Zeus's Power expansion. Keep in mind, you can only use all 3 of the abilities once, and you'll have to keep track of what abilities you use. I suggest just taking a coin or something and putting them over the abilities you use, and you'll have this nifty little card here to help you. The next expansion is also going to give you some one-time use abilities, 4 this time. It's called the Villain Power expansion. These 4 abilities are inspired by the 4 villains from Supervillain Island, which Zeus stole the essence of, which would be Captain Crawfish, Black Widow, Binary Bard, and Dr. Hare. So let's quickly go over their 4 abilities. To use these abilities, you use them after you've rolled the die. So you'd roll the die, look at it, and then choose to do the abilities before you moved and saw what it moved on to. So, ride the ship. Instead of doing the normal movement you were planning on doing, you can instead move the die from one edge space to any other edge space. And that counts as the whole movement. The next one is called Use Your Creativity. You can take any 2 spots on the board and swap them. one could be face up and one could be face down. They could both be face down, or they could both be face up. If they are face down, you can't look at what it is, though. You just have to switch it without looking. The next is called control time. You get to move, so after you roll the die, keep in mind, you use all of these after you roll the die. You can move the mortal one extra space or one less space than whatever was just rolled. Then, lastly, is called mind control. Mind control, based on Dr. Hare, allows you to not move in a straight line. So say I rolled a 3, I could go 1, 2, 3. And then look at these two and put them back face down. So those are the 4 abilities. And keep in mind, you could use both of these at once. But that might make the game a little too easy for you. Which is why I suggest you add in the last expansion, which will make the game a slight bit harder. To use the last expansion, as you're setting up, remove the Mount Olympus tile, and instead replace it with the Zeus's throne room. Shuffle it in, and then deal out the cards as normal. You get the idea. So, to use the Zeus's throne room card, during the game, as you move the mortal around, if you cross Zeus's throne room, then nothing happens. But if you land on Zeus's throne room, the mortal challenges you to the final boss battle and defeats you, thus losing you the game. But keep in mind, this does not work like the other cards that would make you lose. If you cross it, you can see it be like, whew, that was close, and put it back face down. So yeah, if you want to try the Reign of Zeus, go ahead. Links in the description. So yeah, if you want to see me make another game for you guys, I'd love to. I love making games. Maybe a Keep on the Age of Wonder Beast one next? That could be fun. I don't know. We'll see. In the meantime, I don't know. Go play it. It's fun.